Hey, welcome in Huntsville. Another wonderful good morning to you. Thanks for waking up with us. What do you love about Huntsville? What makes this a great place to be?
Everyone here is very genuine and very kind and friendly. You never hesitate to speak up and say hello or good morning or just acknowledge the person walking by.
The thing that I love most about Huntsville, I love the peace that Huntsville brings. I love the peace that it gives me.
I feel accepted and part of the town and like I belong here.
Huntsville is where my lovely wife lived when I met her, so I moved here. So I'm pretty thankful for her.
Starting to pick up.
Yep. Well, that'll be great on live, on a podcast.
Hey, we may lose one of these canopies. There it goes.
Oh, boy.
I knew that was going to happen.
We're bucking for you in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah, you're live, Irma. Welcome. What's up, Irma? How you doing? We got you. Hey, we're tapped into your computer there too, where you work. We can actually see you on video. I hacked your computer. So beautiful earrings today, Irma. You're always beautiful. Very nice.
You're so silly.
How about that intro? Just sliding right on in, ready to go. Here we go. Kaye Boehning in the house. Where's Rick's not here today. Rick he's got a couple things he's taking care of. We're going to miss him today.
Yeah.
So, but
You're stuck with me.
I was sitting here.
Audience, the viewership is, tanked because it's just me.
It's an all-time low right now. Just kidding. It's an all-time high because we are here and, Huntsville. This community and the love and appreciation that I think that we have for this community is at an all-time high. So there's no negative when you wake up here on Good Morning Huntsville. We want to welcome you in. Thanks for being a part of this show. And we are rocking and rolling already off to a wonderful start here. Episode 193. This 193. Boy, isn't that crazy? I think I say that every morning. 192. Isn't that a lot? 190. Isn't that a lot? But we are so thankful. We want to welcome you in this morning. Thanks for being here. As always, we are in our studio downtown. Big thanks to Elliot Herzlich of Elliot's Jewelers, online at elliotsjewelers.com. And also a shout out to Paul Oley for providing the space of the gallery. We appreciate you, Paul. Love you, my friend. And also would not be able to be here on a Wednesday without our great friends from Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Today it's Kaye Boehning in the house, in the studio, ready to rock and roll. Are you cold this morning, Kaye? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm not really cold.
It was, we had a really interesting weekend. Good old stomach virus decided to make its rounds. Don't know. Hey, let us know.
Stay away.
Yeah, we're good. I took an extra, they say like 24 hours but I took the 48-hour approach. We didn't even go to church on Sunday, and I don't like using the word hate, but I do hate missing church. I don't like to not go to church on Sunday because then it just feels like, that's your setup for the week. It puts you in a good mindset, a good mood. It puts you in the right frame of mind, physically, mentally, spiritually, the whole thing. And we didn't go on Sunday because I was like, we're still getting over this bug. And so if this morning, if you know of anyone in town that's had the bug, let us know, because I think it is making its way through Huntsville. It's just cruising right on down 45.
Oh, we've the flu, the bug, everything.
RSV has been a mess again. I've heard about that.
My college roommate, the person that introduced me to Montessori, used to say that, because I'd say I hate this all the time, and she'd say every time you say the word hate, you're letting a little bit more hate in your heart. You need to stop that. Of course, I wanted to, just irritated me when she did that.
You wanted to tell her, I hate that you're telling me this, right?
I did probably once or twice. But I did kind of start taking it. She gradually molded me and changed me a little bit where I don't say I hate this near as often.
Isn't it neat? And think about that. And we're already going to hit the inspiration wagon this morning, that the things that you speak over your life or yourself add up. And, it's like, and I know that it's a very, very sensitive thing, and we're not going to go down this rabbit hole talking about divorce. But
You go down rabbit holes all the time.
We do, yeah. I know that divorce has affected so many people, and it's a very tragic thing that happens. And unfortunately, in a lot of situations, it's necessary. But I was talking to a guy about this who had been through a divorce, and he said, it's not the one big argument or the one big blow up that caused the divorce. It was little things that we allowed to creep in little by little by little by little, and year after year after year, and it compiled into the big thing. And when he told me this years ago, I started thinking about, there's something to that, not just in the world of divorce, but in our lives, about the little things every day. And I said something this morning that I apologize for. I shouldn't have said it. I get really frustrated about time. Kaye has been a very big advocate on making sure that we start the show on time, which I appreciate. But there's so many things that go on each day, and I have really struggled since I've had children managing time a lot better. It's been really tough because it's just still trying to get into the routines. And you'd think after 2 children now and all of that, we'd be in a routine, and we're in a pretty set routine. But this morning I caught myself saying something that I want to apologize to Bridget for here on the show. Nothing with her, but I was getting stressed out because it was 6 o'clock, and I have to leave the house by 6:40. It's going to be 6:20 soon, by the way, when Braylon starts at Tomorrow's Promise. But I have to make sure that I leave by a certain time to be able to drop off children and all that stuff, right? Well, I know that when 6:15 comes around, 6:40 is going to be bam. It happens quick. And so I had to feed Caden. Bridget does a great job getting everything ready. And I started thinking, like, with being sick this weekend and just so much stress going on, I feel like I have had, and people will say, Rob, I don't get that about you because I'm always upbeat and positive on the show. But I feel like the past week, maybe the past 2 weeks, have just been consistently bad days. Just bad. And this morning, I said to Bridget, I am just today, and I always speak against this, and I did it this morning. I said, I just feel today is going to be another one of those days. And I'm just tired of having bad days every day. And that ain't the right way to act, because I get on this show and I say that we're going to have a good day today and that good things are going to happen. But I caught myself in my own mess saying that. And, when I left the house this morning, I said, I'm going to change that attitude. I heard it from there was an old preacher back in the day named Pastor Buzzy. And Pastor Buzzy said, you better quit y'all stinking thinking, huh? And so this morning, I'm telling it to myself, and I'm telling it to all of you. If you've woken up with a bad attitude, maybe you did like me today and said, I'm tired of having bad days. I'm going to tell you what, and we've had good days. We've had really good. It's just little things seem like it makes it a bad day.
It's what you choose to do with that moment. Mm-hmm. You can have that moment define your day, or you can...
Not today.
Say, hey, that was a bad moment, but the rest of my day is good.
And you know, like those days or those situations where you think it's like everything's caving in, and then after it's over, you look back, and even if it's 10 minutes later, you're like, it wasn't even that big of a deal. But it feels like it's a big deal in that moment because all of a sudden, man, I got to get that clip back. See, this is I got to get that clip back, Kaye. I put it in my bag, and now I'm always adjusting this wire. But the thing is, it truly is the way that you think about it. And I talk so much on the show about that. And I said, on the way here, I'm not going to be like that. Today is a great day. We have our new intern that's here in the studio with us today. Maybe Michelle will make an early appearance. We haven't decided yet. We got to figure that out. But Michelle's hanging out with us today. That's a good thing. I got Caden where he needed to be on time. That's a good thing. Braylon's getting ready to start tomorrow's promise. That's a great thing. You know what? I had a roof over my head. That's a great thing. And we said a prayer yesterday, and I was telling Michelle, and I won't go into the details of this story, but Jason and I said a prayer yesterday morning before we started the show. And I said, Lord, bring us somebody today that we can help because it's so cold outside. And there's a gentleman that walks by this studio almost every morning. And I ran into that gentleman yesterday, and my heart melted. And I told Bridget the night before, I said, I'm really worried about that guy. And I won't go into the details because it's not about talking about what we did for him. But all I'm going to say is when we prayed that, God showed up in a huge way yesterday. And long story short, I found out that he had slept outside last night. Not last night, but the night before. And long story short is we were able to put him in a warm place yesterday and throughout all day yesterday and then even this morning. And he was able to take a warm shower. And I said, dude, there's no way you're going to be sleeping out in 16-degree weather this morning.
I would have liked a warm shower this morning.
Yeah.
My hot water heater's not working.
Did it? Is it not? Oh, man.
It quit yesterday.
Yikes.
It was lots of fun.
But I thought, man, and this is where we really, as a community, we talk about it, and so many people do it, is just embrace each other. We prayed that prayer. That situation happened. And then there was a guy that ran into me at the H-E-B parking lot. I had to go pick up some stuff. And guy ran into me. And it is the weirdest thing, Kaye, is I could tell, sometimes people are just like, hey, I need money. And they say it's for food, but it's not. Let's be honest. It's not for food. And it's not our call to judge people either. But this guy genuinely looked like, he needed some money for food. And the first thing that came into my mind was he came up, he's like, hey, do you have just a couple of dollars, man? I'm really cold and hungry. And again, I go back to that prayer because I was like, Lord, send somebody. We sent 2 people yesterday. But I was like, man, I'm so sorry. I was like, I don't. Man, I just carry a cart on me. He's like, all right, well, thanks, man. And he walked away. And then I started thinking, man, I've got this food in my cart. And it was like a quick snack. And I said, well, I've got this, and it's not really healthy. Do you want it? He goes, man, that would be awesome. And he took it and started eating it and drinking it. And I was like, this guy really was legitimately hungry. Like, if he sometimes that's happened before to where someone, need it, and then you give them something, and then they just like throw it down as soon as you drive. You know what I'm saying? This happened in Houston. We had to go fix some stuff at the state comptroller's office. This was a few months ago. Nothing major. I just had to go down there and file a report that we forgot to file because I was in Fargo last year. And there was a guy that he was like wanting money. He just said he was sitting in the street. He said, I want money. Well, somebody had drove by, and I guess all they had was change, and they gave him their change. And I walked by the guy, and he took all the change and just threw it. And he's like, this does nothing. And I was like, my goodness, man. And I was like, whatever. And I wasn't judging a guy. But then I walk into Walgreens, and I thought, I'll get a Coke. I'll get an extra water. The guy needs a water, right? You'd think someone's sitting out there, and it was a little warm. He needs a water. So I said, hey, do you want a water? And he's like, no, I don't need a water. Give me money. And I was like, okay, never mind. I didn't have money to give him. I don't ever judge, but that situation was kind of a different situation. But I will encourage you this morning, if you see somebody and something in your gut is pulling at you to do something or to say something, then do that. Listen to your gut because you never want to turn back and say, man, I wish that I would have been there for that person, or I wish that I would have done that. If there's something pulling at you, listen to it. Be careful, if it's a certain situation that you need to be aware. And like I asked this gentleman yesterday, I know him, But I was cautious. I said, hey, man, I just have to ask you, do you got any drugs on you? Do you have any weapons on you? He's like, no, I don't have any of that. I was like, all right. And, but, I made sure that it was a safe thing. I'm not encouraging people to go drive around and do stuff because you never know what could happen. But be safe. But also, if something's tugging at you, listen to that, Kaye. I think it's important. So we hope that you are waking up warm this morning. The hard freeze last night, 16 degrees here. Some outlying areas actually in the upper or the lower teens. I heard a report just about 30 miles north of here, and I can't remember the town names because I didn't go to Learning RX twice last week. If I would have went twice, I would have remembered. But they got down to 11 last night. No more precipitation in the area. Skies cleared, and we should be on our well on our way to having a great day today. In fact, it was warmer in Amarillo than it was here. I was looking. Amarillo is expected a high today of in the low 60s already because that front is moving on to the south and to the east. But we just want you to stay warm. Today, highs will be in the mid-40s, and then it's going to warm up. And then it's going to be weird. Then it's going to get a little bit cold again, and then it's going to warm up again. So it's kind of that crazy Texas weather. Got a good show lined up today. We'll talk more with Kaye Boehning, Tomorrow's Promise. Maybe, if it's okay, we were chatting before we went on there, some stories of your dad, if that's okay this morning.
It's the whole reason why we were open yesterday.
Absolutely. So I think it'd be great to share the legacy and some of the great things that your father has done, in your life and how he's been a blessing to so many others. So we'll talk about Kaye's dad today. You'll learn a story of a great man and all the great things that he has done. And then, like I said, maybe a surprise. We'll see back there, hiding behind the camera. We'll see if we'll have our new guest hopping on the show here before too long. Hey, today, feeling generous. You know what, Kaye?
Don't you do that, Cafe Texan?
Yeah, I know. You don't like when I give away that Cafe Texan on Wednesdays. We're going to save the Cafe Texan. I've got a handful of them left. Today, we'll go back to a little bit more money. How about $20 in your bank account today? And all that you have to do, text in that keyword. What is it, Kaye?
Frozen.
Frozen. There you go. I watched that show the other day for the first time, that kids movie.
Oh, Let It Snow.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I just wasn't a fan of it. I say kid, I mean child. Sorry, Kaye, but I wasn't a fan. I was like, what is this? What's her name? Elsa? Is that the ice princess thing? Whatever she is. And
Elsie, I think.
She gets like angry and she unintentionally does stuff. And I'm like, what message is this sending children? Like, as a parent, I'm worried if I get angry at my child, she thinks I'm going to throw an ice sword at her, or something, or freeze her heart. I'm just,
you're not really supposed to think of all that stuff through. I mean, think about Bambi. His dad gets killed. Think about the Lion King, and the brother kills the other brother. I mean, none of these stories that we grew up with, the Grimm's fairy tales, none of them have good, happy. There's always something in them.
Isn't there something about like Ring Around the Rosie also?
Mm-hmm. That was for the during Black Plague.
Gosh, so we sing all the Ring Around the Rosies, a pocket full of posies. Well, it's like a pocket full of posies. Is that the plague?
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I forgot that part. I have not analyzed what all it means, but I know it came from the Black Plague.
So all these things. I don't know. Sometimes we just get them in our head. We don't even think about it. And Braylon was singing that, and someone's like, that's a bad song. I was like, no, it's not. Everyone's singing it. And Braylon was like, we all fall down, and she falls on the ground. It's like her favorite thing to do. So, all right. Well, keyword again, frozen is the keyword. I'm going to give away $20 today. Please have Cash App or Venmo. As much as I love my friends at Walker County Federal, I really don't want to have to drive over there in the cold and get $20, Kaye.
You're whining.
I know I am. So please don't.
That's not a positive attitude.
It's not a hello Huntsville, good morning Huntsville attitude. Keyword is frozen. Text that in alongside your name, please, on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line 936-339-0139 for your chance to win. We'll be calling that winner on the back end of the show. As always, our show's on a Wednesday, brought to you by our great friends at Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. 25 plus years of excellence, and they are the educational experts here in our community. So please check them out online at tpms.life.
Which is interesting because I'm not that old.
You're not? Kaye's only 32. So you started that when you were 7, which is unbelievable, Kaye. 7 years old, Kaye Boehning. We'll dig into that a little bit later as well. Just kidding. We don't want to lose. We want to make sure that people trust us on the show, Kaye. So I can't be fibbing. We'll take a break, though. We've got a quick look at your national news. Like I said, here in the next couple of weeks, we're going to focus more on local news, but we do have your national news coming your way. And then also a word from our great sponsor. Stay with us. More to come as we continue on this morning. It's your show as always. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
USA News, I'm Ryan Daniels. Republican presidential candidates are now turning their attention on New Hampshire following former President Trump's landslide victory in the Iowa caucuses.
Both Trump and Biden, you look at the fact that they are still focused on the past, whether it's investigations, whether it's grievances.
Nikki Haley gaining momentum in the polls. Trump spoke about his former UN ambassador at a rally of his own late Tuesday.
Is counting on the Democrats and liberals to infiltrate your Republican primary. You know that. That's what's happening.
Vivek Ramaswamy's also calling on Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis drop out of the race like he did. Newly released 911 recordings on Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's hospitalization and raising more suspicion about a cover-up at the Pentagon. An aide to Austin, who made a 911 call to request an ambulance for the defense chief January 1st, reportedly requested that dispatchers make efforts to remain subtle. An audio recording and transcript of the call was obtained by the Daily Beast. State roads managers are reminding drivers it's best to remain cautious as this week's nationwide Arctic blast is likely to lead to more slick roadways this morning.
There is a chance of some slight refreezing, so we're going to be cognizant of that.
Charlie Gishler is with the Maryland State Highway Administration. This week's Arctic blast brought snow, ice, and those sub-zero wind chills nearly from coast to coast and border to border in the U.S. Today, there remain wind chill alerts posted across the Great Lakes, Appalachian, and Midwest regions. The Deep South faces uncommon temps in the teens, while snow and ice continues in the Pacific Northwest. And the World Health Organization says the number of tobacco users across the globe has gone down in a big way since the worst of the COVID-19 pandemic.
We have 19 million less smokers than we had 2 years ago.
The WHO's Dr. Rudiger Kretsch. This is USA News.
I'd like to introduce you to our new sponsor, Get the Tea. Get the Tea carries all natural, non-GMO organic teas and supplements made in the USA. Get the Tea's ingredients are the purest available. My favorite is Life Change Tea. Life Change Tea is a gentle daily cleanse containing 12 herbs that when combined really keep things moving. I drink it every day and my energy has never been better. I'm feeling great. Life Change Tea comes in 3 delicious flavors, natural, peppermint, and pomegranate. It's an easy and delicious way to keep your digestion on track. And for those on the go, try D365. D365 is Life Change Tea in a capsule. Drink the tea or take D365 capsules and keep your digestion running smoothly. Go to getthetea.com and enter discount code USA to get 10% off any size order. That's getthetea.com, discount code USA for 10% off your order.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are. Third location on Veterans Memorial, coming soon. Visit tpms.life for more information. Education you can trust.
Hey, I'm Denise Olivas, Business Account Specialist at Walker County Federal Credit Union, and our business is helping you take care of your business. In addition to personal accounts, Walker County Federal Credit Union also offers business accounts and business lending for commercial customers. We're devoted to taking care of the needs of our individual members and helping our business members with their financial success too. Call us today and find out how easy it is to work with Walker County Federal Credit Union. Member NCUA.
Welcome to Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville, where we've been caring for your furry family members for over 4 decades. Nestled at 877 IH 45 South, our kennel is a perfect retreat for your pet. With a climate-controlled facility, spacious exercise yards, we ensure a comfortable and enjoyable stay. At Magnolia Kennel, we offer a range of options including overnight boarding, extended stay boarding, and doggy day out. But that's not all. We also provide additional pampering services like baths and nail care to keep your pets looking and feeling their best. Making a reservation is a breeze at magnoliakennel.com. We take great pride in our dedication to the community, supporting our local fire departments by providing oxygen pet masks. Stay connected and enjoy adorable pet updates by following us on Facebook. Magnolia Kennel of Huntsville is where dogs get to be dogs. Visit us at magnoliakennel.com to book your pet's next stay. We can't wait to meet your four-legged family members.
All right, time at it. 7:55. New record here. Kaye Boehning's on the show, so we make sure that we get stuff early. No more of this coming back at 7:57. Speaking of 7:57, I've had that number in my head a lot lately for some reason.
It's not an airplane.
Boeing 757? Yeah,
Okay.
there's a 757.
Okay.
777 would be a good one to fly on. You know why? It's a good number. 777
Yes.
is a good number. You don't want the other one. I think they have like some Supermax one, though. Did you hear about the story? Alaska Airlines, the door blew out, took the young man's shirt off, and my
Glad it was
goodness.
buckled in.
Yeah, good night. You know, that happened years ago on a Hawaii. There was a Hawaiian airline.
Oh, the top came off.
The whole thing, the whole fuselage, the whole top, and somehow that thing did not dismantle in the air. Unfortunately, a couple of people did lose their lives. One of the flight attendants was actually sucked out. You can find this. Go look up Hawaiian Airlines, I don't know, like cabin failure, and you'll find it. It's the scariest thing. There's the front of this plane. There's the base of it. People are sitting there. You can see them clear as day, and then the rest of it. And a whole panel from the side to the side and the roof completely dismantled in the air.
Yeah. You're not making me feel any better. I got to
Scary.
fly in a few weeks.
That's okay. I told my mom, I said, my mother hates flying. Absolutely scared of it. And I told her the best thing that I could have told her as a son. I said, Mom, the worst thing that's going to happen on that plane is you're going to get up there and the thing's going to blow up and you're not going to make it. I said, that's the worst thing that could happen. And I said, if you have that attitude, knowing that everything else is okay. I said, the engine could fail. The gas could mix the wrong way. And
well, but then you see Jesus, so
then you're and you know, in all seriousness, I know there's a lot of folks, and I, you know, I don't make joke of, I'm not talking about like some bad act out. I'm just talking about the plane failing. And my mom said, well, that doesn't make me feel any better. You know, we had a gentleman that was on this show that was in a tragic plane crash in the 80s, and so I'm not making light of that. I mean, it is a very serious thing that can happen. But
that was on our show.
He was, yeah. It was our good friend Jerry Schimmel who was on that terrible flight, you know, in Sioux City, Iowa. That in the late 80s, a lot of people lost their lives on that, and you know, his life was spared. And it is a serious thing, obviously, when that happens. But I did tell my mom that just to encourage her that, Mom, and I said that because I was like, you have no control. Mm-hmm. But the good news is it's much safer to fly than it is to drive. And I used to be terrified of flying because the first flight that I was ever on went from Austin, Bergstrom, to Seattle, SeaTac. Beautiful flying. And you see Mount St. Helens. It was cool. Saw the whole side of the mountain gone. I was like, my goodness. And but I'll never forget when we started flying over the Rockies. Scary. And it's the first time I ever flew. I was with my aunt. She took me. And we were going to see her son, my cousin. Plane literally fell out of the sky for like 2 seconds. You just all of a sudden feel this, and then boom, and it's like it hit this hard rock, and everything shook. And a couple of the luggage doors, like you see in the movies, like none of the oxygen mat, and I was sitting there like this, and my aunt was grabbing my hand, and there was some lawyer business looking guy, and he was like this, and everybody was like, whoa. And I looked at my aunt, I was like, is that supposed to happen? And she goes, no. And a lawyer guy turns around, he goes, I've been flying for 25 years. That's never happened. I was like, great, first time I ever get on a plane. But it was what we were told was, I guess, like there was a pocket of air that was just gone. I don't know how that's possible, but supposedly there was like just a dead pocket of air, and the plane fell. And once it fell back into this air, then it, you know, regained its whatever. But yeah, that was pretty scary. So after that experience, it was whatever. And then one time my mother and I flew to South Dakota to see my sister, and it was really bad winter weather, and a plane had skid off the runway at Minneapolis, St. Paul. And so, of course, she was very nervous about that. And then another time we flew, and I tell you, she hates flying. We flew 3 times. Another time we flew, the plane had electrical issues, and we had to sit there for 2 hours. And I said, don't worry. I was so mean. I was so bad to my mom. I said, don't worry, Mom. They'll just cross the wrong wire and nothing we can do about it. So I put her at ease, Anyways, Kaye, welcome everyone back in. We hope that you're having a great day as we continue to highlight. We'll get to a lot of the comments that are coming in this morning. Let us know that you're out there and what you're thankful for as you're waking up with us here on a Wednesday. But this morning, I wanted to take a brief moment and talk about somebody who has just been a tremendous impact in your life, and maybe give us a little bit of the story of your father, Mr. Dwayne Frick, and you are wearing, did I say it right?
Frick.
Frick. I said Frick. I had some water in my throat. Dwayne Frick. And Mr. Frick, you were wearing a jacket today, and I wondered, what was that? So tell us a little bit about what's going on and about your dad, Kaye. I'd love to hear the story.
Well,
plus you want to take the jacket off. It's getting hot.
Well, the wisdom today for children and even for yourself is, for a child, buy a regular sized jacket for them to wear, and then buy next year's jacket for them. And so they don't have to have a big, huge snow outfit. You can just buy a regular kind of jacket that they're going to wear most of the winter.
Okay.
And then for the 2 days that's cold like this, you have next year's jacket that you can put over that jacket, and you've got them layered. And then they can take a jacket off, and then they're not so hot. And you can layer, and you got next year's jacket already. And kind of a little late for this year, but that way you don't have to have several different sized jackets for the 2 days that it's going to be freezing.
Yeah, and if you don't have a wonderful sister-in-law in your family, like we're so blessed to have Bridget's sister Jacqueline, who's had children before us, then you got to go purchase all this stuff, and it's not cheap. And Jacqueline even told, she's like, quit buying so many clothes. She's like, I got so many, we'll just pass. So we've been like literally passing them in a circle. Jacqueline has the babies, she buys the clothes, then the clothes trickle down to us, then we use them, and then the clothes trickle on down to her other brothers. So we just keep passing.
I mean, they're the winter stuff is probably either on sale now or is gone. I think they have summer stuff out now, but catch it when it's on sale and buy the next size up.
So there's the Wednesday wisdom. Don't worry about having a child, and even if they look like the Michelin Man, it's okay because at least they'll stay warm.
Well, if it's layered, they don't necessarily.
But you're right.
But you see the children, and they've got this one big heavy jacket on, and they can't move. And then they take their jacket off because they're hot, and there's no in between.
Yeah.
So if they have two jackets on, and put their names in it.
Yeah, please. With a permanent marker, not a washable, super washable marker that you get. Well, Kaye, that jacket says Beaver Express, and I was asking you about that, and that was your father's business. So can you tell us the story of your dad, if you don't mind, this morning?
So my dad was a partner in the business. He didn't quite own all of it or anything, but they ran a trucking company in northwest Oklahoma and went into Kansas, into the panhandle of Texas, down to Dallas, and we served about 5 different states.
Did you ever get to ride with him?
I did not get to ride on the truck routes because they ran at night.
Gotcha.
But I did get to ride a few times when Dad was moving trucks around and stuff like that.
Oh,
that was
cool.
really cool to be up in the semis. And back when my dad, back in the 70s, I mean, the truck drivers were the knights of the road, and they helped people. And there were plenty of times when my dad was doing the relief driving. He did the accounting, the bookwork for the company. And then he would drive a relief driver at night. And he had also, if we hauled blood, we hauled flowers, we hauled tractor parts, we had oil field equipment. I mean, anything.
Just like a transport company, whatever folks needed, they were there to help them.
And my dad always took seriously, if the blood missed the right truck to get to where it was supposed to go, or the flowers or this or that, he would take and hotshot it. He would take it in either our pickup or car or whatever and drive it to that town where it was needed and deliver it to that person. And, he was always like, he wanted the people to, of course, the blood needs to go where it needs to go.
Mm-hmm.
But he would make sure that the flowers were there because he wanted the flowers to be there for that wedding or for that funeral. The tractor part had to get to the farmer out in the field for him to be able to plow the field, the oil field. He took every part of that so seriously and wanted to make sure that everybody was served, that has came over to me with Tomorrow's Promise.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like yesterday and today, we're open because we're here to serve the community. We're here to make sure that police officer doesn't have to worry about his child, that he can go out and do what he needs to do on the road. We're here for the correctional officer so he can go guard those inmates so we can stay safe in the community. We're here for that nurse or that doctor or the gas station attendant. We were here during COVID and open every day, so essential workers should go to work so we could get the things we needed.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the things that during COVID, people actually realized that childcare was essential in order for the community, for the economy to keep going. But that was where I got my values, was from my dad and watching my dad serve the community. And in 1973, there was a blizzard that shut everything down.
There in Oklahoma.
Oh, yeah. And Kansas and Texas and everything. It was bad. And we were shut down and couldn't run. Well, the second that the roads were open again, my dad got in a truck and took the freight. And 73 hours later, he finally stopped. He would get from one semi into another semi, and they had it loaded, and he was out there the whole time.
Mm.
Now, there's new rules on that. You can't do that now.
They won't let you go 73 straight now.
No, they will not.
DPS will look at your book and be like, whoa, slow down, buddy.
But this was before they had books and stuff, and he never stopped for that 73 hours. He got from one truck to another and got the log jam broke up. And we had like 260 terminals. So he was moving freight, and they'd have a next truck ready for him and the next trailer and this and that. And when he finished, and that was kind of everything was almost back to normal, he then went to bed and slept.
And they got back up and did it again.
Well, like I said, he normally did the office work, and but when that happened, he got in the truck and didn't stop. He had a really neat ability too. He would go drive all over the country and go buy used semis, and he could get in a truck and tell you, oh, this one will go 100,000 miles or 200,000 miles before it need overhaul. And so he would go around and buy the trucks for the company. And
well, that's wonderful. It's so important. I'm so glad that you shared that story, Kaye, because I think it's a great way to honor your dad. And he got into the car collecting business, I believe, or restoring business later on in life. Correct? Restoring and doing some great things.
He spent 50 years working for Beaver Express full time. But from the time he was 2 years old, we've got a scrapbook that his grandma made him of cars, and you can tell that he went through that scrapbook over and over again. But he has always been a car nut, always. I remember when I was a child, he would be repairing something on our cars or things like that, and be down at a shop, and I'd kind of toddle around after him as much as I could. But when I was in high school, he had bought a 57 Chevy convertible.
Oh, cool.
And was going to restore it. And he needed something welded on it and couldn't find a welder. This was during one of the oil booms, and could not find a welder, and he got mad and he sold it. And so then when I finished college, he bought a 1948 Ford Coupe that he found in somebody's pasture in pieces and proceeded to rebuild that. And that car, Old Blue, has won all kinds of trophies and things like that. And then he ended up buying a shop building, and him and some buddies would get together, and they all used the shop building. And so one might know how to weld, and Dad would know how to do this, and so they would help each other build their cars.
Oh, that's cool.
And he's got about 13 that he's done.
Wow.
So now he can't do it, but he still right now wants to see his cars, drive them and stuff.
Well, I'm so glad that you shared that story, Kaye, because I think a lot of times, we look back at our lives we've talked a lot about the environment that you grow up in, and when you have parents like that and that teach you the morals and the values. My dad, same with me. He taught me a lot of just unbelievable morals and values in life. And I think it's important to honor our parents and to go back and recognize the sacrifices that they have made in our lives. And as we grow into adults and continue to get older, and then we become parents and, one day grandparents, I don't even want to think about that. I'll feel like a grandparent when my children are in high school. Because I got on the late train to have children. And I don't regret any moment of it. But I want to be able to it's amazing because you want to be able to look back and say, I learned so much from that person. And so think about your role today as a parent. And for those of you that are parents out there, and what are you instilling in your children every day? What morals, what values, what things are you doing that they're picking up on that one day they're going to put back down? And think about that. I've noticed even with my little girl at 2 years old, there's things and phrases that I say that she repeats. I'm like, where did she get that from? Oh, it's from me. Because one time I was changing her diaper and I told her, that's terrible. Well, you know what I'm saying. When you change a diaper and throw in the word terrible, you can only imagine, And I said, Braylon, that is terrible. And now to this day, she still goes, that's terrible, Daddy. And she knows what it means. But it's those little things, again, that are so important. And then you think about it as an adult and you look back and you say, you know what? My dad taught me that, or my mom taught me that, or my grandpa taught me that.
When I was a child, it was never if you're going to college. It was always when you go to college. And I watched my dad help. Obviously he helped my brother and I go to college, but I also watched him help some other members of our family with college and stuff. And, just his value. He never got to go to college. And just his values of education. You can never take away somebody's education. And so, he's real big on education. And
look how it's all kind of, you never would have imagined that here you are today running Tomorrow's Promise 25 plus years later.
There are things I told my daddy that I was never, ever, ever, ever going to do.
And this was one of them, something like this.
Well, I told him I was never, ever, ever having children, and I have a biological child for every ever, and then God threw in the school for funsies. I also told my dad I was never, ever going to get a teaching certificate. I also told him I was never, ever going to teach. I told him just about everything I've told him I was never, ever going to do. God has a lovely sense of humor, and I've done. So.
There is a mistake that you've made, Kaye, and I hate to bring this up on the air and put you in an awkward position, but you have failed to tell him that I'm never, ever going to win the lottery. So can you do that, please?
So I have been told, well, you should have told your daddy you were never, ever going to be a millionaire. And I said, well, because or that I didn't want to be one, and I said, well, that's kind of a lie. So I would hate to say something to my daddy that is a lie, because I'd hate to see what God's sense of humor is on that one.
Oh, yeah, to be careful.
The things I have literally told my daddy I never, ever wanted to do that, I've ended up doing. But I've never told my dad a lie like, oh, I never, ever wanted this, when I really do, because I'm afraid of what would happen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all right. Well, fair enough. I was just hoping that you would.
I wouldn't mind winning the lottery. I wouldn't mind. There's a few things. Yeah. I'm not gonna. No. Yeah. I'm not gonna speak that one into existence.
All right. Well, I was hoping because you're sitting next to me, and I'd just like a little small cut of that one day, please. So, well, thanks for sharing that. For our audience out there this morning, think about your parents today. I really want you to get to thinking and think about your parents and what they've done for you over your life. And some of you, unfortunately, you may have grown up in tough situations, to where maybe you didn't have that parent that was always there for you. If you can't think of that parent, think of that person, maybe that family member, that great aunt, that uncle. How many of you have cousins that you call aunts and uncles? I've got a whole mix of those that they're not even an aunt or an uncle, but we call them aunt and uncles. And think about those folks this morning, the impact that they've made on your life, and the opportunity that you're going to have to be able to share that with somebody else.
Well,
that's what life's about.
I had people that I called my second mother, growing up, that I was over at their house so much.
Yeah. I had a buddy growing up, and his parents had another room for me. That was like, they were like, this is our guest room, but it's pretty much your room. So.
And our earthly father is supposed to mirror our heavenly father. Mm-hmm. But if they don't, you still have your heavenly father.
That's right.
I mean, the earthly father's kind of supposed to be a model of what God is, but like I said, not. They're human. They're not perfect. So, you always got your heavenly Father.
Amen to that. Well, good message this morning. Well, we're going to take a break. We've still got about 16 minutes or so. We'll have a word from more of our sponsors. One final opportunity this morning for you to win that $20. People used to say, afraid $20 make you holler. I don't know about, I wouldn't holler if I got $20 because I could only eat like half a Big Mac. But, keyword is frozen. Text that in. Well, you could get, a gallon of gas, $20 now, right? Oh, did you see all the electric car? And I want one. I'll be honest. I'd love to have an electric truck. But did you see the reports of all this blizzard going on? And there's a graveyard of electric vehicles that aren't charging right now. I think the technology still needs a lot of things to be worked out first.
I still have my, all the minerals and things that have to be mined to make the electric cars. I really just don't see that it's helping the environment.
I think the technology it's still so new that it's going to take another 10 years or so maybe to get it refined. But yeah, one day I'd like one. I wouldn't lie. I mean, we have a hybrid Santa Fe and it's kind of cool. It makes this weird, I don't know, some sort of weird, out of this world noise when it drives by. It's like, and it's not gas. It's just the electric motor because it, until you get to 10 miles an hour, then the gas kicks in. But it literally, if you see these Hyundai Santa Fe's driving around, listen, the next time you see, you hear this weird, it's like a portal opening up to another world.
It's a squirrel on a treadmill.
Yes, a squirrel on a treadmill in there. That's exactly what it is. Keywords frozen with your name. Text that in. Our good friend Randolph Thompson hosting our text line as always. Go by and see him too. Randolph's a great guy. He's right down the street from us for the best in Cajun Asian cuisine. I had some wonderful food over there last week and definitely will be getting back out there this week. That is our Granny Mary's Cajun Asian cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get to some of these comments and more. Stay with us. We'll continue your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville.
Google, Amazon, or Wikipedia, their founders were all Montessori students. Montessori is the only educational method developed by a doctor using the scientific method for what was best for the child. Come check out our award-winning childcare schools at Tomorrow's Promise. Did you know that 90% of brain development happens the first 5 years of life? Early childhood education is the most important time of life. Come find out what makes us different and why we are now adding a third location. Visit tpms.life for more information. Education you can trust.
Hey listeners, Rob here, and I'm excited to welcome Abby from the Color Bar, where they're all about meeting every community need with continuous innovation.
Thanks, Rob. We're thrilled to evolve, offering stylish cuts for kids, men, and women, alongside expert coloring services.
That's fantastic. What's new and exciting in the world of the Color Bar?
We're always adding to our repertoire. Whether it's trendy cuts for all ages or dynamic coloring techniques, our team is geared up for it.
That's great to hear. Any sneak peek into future plans?
Our community drives us, Rob. Stay tuned for more services on the horizon, ensuring we cater to everyone's unique tastes.
Exciting times ahead. And Abby, tell us about the Color Bar's locations.
We're not just in one spot, we're spreading the magic in multiple locations. You can find us in Huntsville and Conroe.
Fantastic. So listeners, for a stylish experience with the Color Bar, visit colorbartx.com or call 936-439-4972. With multiple locations, they're here to give you a look that feels uniquely yours.
We can't wait to welcome everyone to the Color Bar.
When you live and work in the town where you were born and raised, lots of people become just like family. I'm Billy Cawthon, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Over the years, we've shared a lot of good times and some tough times, and I'm honored to be the one you call on in your time of need. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, our goal is to help our neighbors in need and always provide the most outstanding service available, even on those really tough days. I thank you for your trust in us. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we're here for you.
The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based 501c3 nonprofit Christian character building ministry helping men 18 and older who are suffering from drug and alcohol addictions. If you or someone you know needs help, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and that light can be found through the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For more information, visit oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Well, during that break, we gave away $1 million, but the person didn't answer the phone, so we get to keep it. That's how it works here on Hello Huntsville. So, just like that old Seinfeld episode, no soup for you, my friend. No soup for you if you don't answer the phone, Kaye. There was someone...
I saw that you dialed my phone number, and then you wouldn't let me answer it.
I always decline it. Sorry, Kaye. Welcome back at it. Hey, we got a guest here this morning. Should we just... Here we go. You ready? Watch this. This is production magic here. 1, 2, 3, boom. There she is. Welcome in.
Hello.
Check it out. Michelle Cardenas here with us today. What's up, Michelle?
Hello. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me today.
You bet. Where did you come from?
Magic.
She's right here. Here she is. So, well, friends, we were going to wait till Friday.
We were. But
you know what, Kaye? We just said, ain't nobody, our favorite phrase is, ain't nobody got time for this.
You were trying to get the viewership up. That's what it was.
It tanked whenever people were all excited, and then they didn't see Rick on, and it was like, and even Uncle Sam, he fell over and his arm came off and his cane, and he's fallen again, Kaye. This is an ongoing thing here, Michelle, by the way, is I said Uncle Sam. I mean Sam Houston.
Right.
Sam Houston statue, the visitor center, was so gracious in giving me this.
So what'd you do with his arm and his cane?
It's in the cup. It's right here.
Oh, my goodness.
So he has now fallen. This guy has fallen like 4 times, and someone's like, well, you need to get better glue. I was like, no, the glue isn't the problem, because every time he's fallen, it's a different thing that's broken. So, in fact, what I need to do is just glue him to the table. But we have him there as a tribute to our community. And we love you, Sam. And I'm so sorry that your arm's not there and your cane. And the cane really wasn't doing anything anyways, because he started leaning way back. It was like, I got that swag cane. It's a new hip-hop song coming up.
So are you the one that keeps breaking him, or is it
I do.
Yes.
I do, because I have my cord like this sometimes, and then I'm not paying attention, and whoop, down he goes.
That explains it.
So, yeah, that's how we're going to introduce Michelle on the show, talking about Sam Houston and the statue here on our desk. Michelle, we're so excited to have you. She is a new part of Hello Huntsville. She's going to be with us periodically on the show, helping out behind the scenes with a lot as well, helping to bring really engaging content through Hello Huntsville and some other projects through my consulting business that I'm really excited about. But we are so glad to have you, and wonderful opportunity just to get to know you more and to hear more, too. We want to highlight what's going on at the university, not just have you here to help us. And you are a very distinguished LEAP ambassador.
I am. Thank you. Yes.
Tell us about the LEAP program.
So the LEAP program is honestly what we like to say the best of the best. So it is a group of students that basically revolves around law engagement and politics, but we're very heavy on new experiences, opportunities, and community engagement. That's one of our most important parts. And so we like to do a lot around the community, and what better way to be involved with Huntsville than interning with Mr. Hip here in Hello Huntsville.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for me to get used to that Mr. Hip business, by the way, but that's okay. I appreciate the respect. I guess I've earned it. I'm almost 40, so here it is.
When did you earn it?
I don't know. I guess I did somehow, So, but Michelle, and I appreciate it in all honesty. Thank you so much, Michelle.
We need to talk.
Yeah, don't worry. You and Kaye can hash out whatever y'all need to afterwards. Michelle, that LEAP program is so great because it gives the students an opportunity to really engage with the community and to learn a lot, with law and engagement and political things, but not to really take a stance on one party or another, to really see things from a broad perspective. One of the things that the LEAP ambassador gets to do is go to the inauguration of the president. Now, you haven't been able to go yet.
Not yet.
Tell us about that program.
Yes. So the LEAP program likes to take students to different places. Before I started in LEAP, I hadn't traveled. So I had only been to Texas, driven to New Orleans with family.
You ever say Nolans?
No.
Is that how you say it, Kaye? Nolans? No. Okay, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry, Michelle.
And so before LEAP, never been to a hotel, never stayed at a hotel, never traveled via airplane. Like, I had never been on an airplane. Now I've been to 2 different states, 3 different capitals. It's amazing. And so the presidential inaugurations obviously only happen every 4 years. So I haven't had the chance yet, but we did go to the governor's inauguration. Doesn't matter who the candidate is, doesn't matter who wins. It's about the experience and the democratic process. So it's amazing. It's super
Pretty
fun.
cool. Well, you've been involved in programs too. We've seen you at Rotary along with your fellow LEAP. Your fellow LEAP ambassador? what's the word? I almost said ambassadorettes, but that's not right. Your fellow LEAP ambassadors.
My fellow LEAP ambassadors.
Ambassadors, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So talk about maybe some of those other experiences, being able to go to the Rotary Club and experience things in the community, because, it's what we're all about here at Hello Huntsville, and some of the things that you're going to help us with.
Yeah, right. So sometimes an average college student just does the work, goes to school. That's about it. We like to experience a little bit of everything, and community is so big here in Huntsville, and that's something we don't have in Houston. Being born and raised there, we don't have a lot of community events, and so things like Rotary just really help just to kind of experience a little bit of everything, just learn what goes on behind the scenes, what really makes the city so tight-knit and so beautiful. And so Rotary is one of the places that we go and we present and we try to engage with everyone, because there's a little bit of everything at Rotary. So you have, your city managers, you have obviously just so many different representatives, and it's amazing. And so we do a lot with Main Street. We do a lot, obviously, here in Hello Huntsville, hopefully. We do a lot of volunteerism with the Lions Club as well. Just a little bit of everything, really.
Awesome. What kind of led you, I know growing up in Houston, I know a while ago you said not a lot of community events. I know what your kind of meaning was, like not a lot of that small town community feel.
Right.
Because there's a lot going on in Houston, but it doesn't have that small town, good old Huntsville type flavor to it. But maybe let us know, our audience and us here this morning, just really what got you to Huntsville and what really got you into the LEAP program.
Right. So what got me to Huntsville was Sam Houston State University, right? That's usually what gets a lot of college students or students my age here.
But how'd you find out about Sam Houston State? I mean, what led you to that path?
I always wanted to do something that had to do with law. I never knew exactly what. As I grew up, I figured out law enforcement was not for me, but I still wanted to do something in the law field. So a criminal justice degree was obviously what I thought was the best plan. We have one of the best criminal justice programs here at Sam Houston State University. And so it was sort of a no-brainer, just we're going to Sam Houston State, we're going to Huntsville, we're moving there. And so it was a little weird because as a first-generation student, I didn't know how to travel the whole college scene. And so I had Professor Mike on for one of my Texas government classes. And he also interviewed me for one of the University 1101 classes that kind of teaches you how to be a student. But he had his own twist to it. So it was a law-based University 1101. And so he sort of took me under his wing. And it's a little weird to say, but it is true. And just navigating his class and getting to know him, he invited me to a couple events, kind of, felt me out a little bit, just making sure. And honestly, it kind of all just took off. I started just volunteering for Scare on the Square. That was one of my first events here in Huntsville. And it was via his class because you have to do community engagement for his class as well. And so, just putting up flags, those were some of the first ones. And then we started, navigating up towards meeting, different ambassadors or, FBI directors. That's like all the cool stuff. But it was a process, but that was kind of what brought me into LEAP and Huntsville as well.
You know what I'm hearing, Kaye, is that we need to start having investigative reporting here on Hello Huntsville. It's a platform for good, but we'll get Michelle coming up tonight on Hello Huntsville. It's Michelle Cardenas with Investigate It. No, we're not going to do that. But
investigating reporting of good.
Yeah, good investigative reporting. Yeah,
which sometimes you have to dig to. I mean, it's not always apparent because the news is so negative. It's not always apparent that there's the good going on. So you might have to investigate and find the good.
You are right. See, so Kaye brings the twist that I needed to say. Yeah. Right. So, but we're looking forward, Michelle, just to having you. I think, and all of the ambassadors. We interviewed I think 6 different, and all of you guys were so great. And then the way that it works is there's a pairing system, and that's how the process works. So it's not like, I reach out and say, hey, I really want this person. There's a survey that comes back, and we fill out information. And Professor Jan has done such a great job in his program of categorizing, based on the responses of these surveys, how to pair up interns with the organizations. And so, obviously when we had our interview, I was really excited to get to know you and just your outgoing personality. And I think most importantly, Michelle, just your eagerness to want to learn. And even though you're choosing a career in law enforcement, you also understand the part of wanting to be engaged in the community, and that's kind of where we crossed paths and how all this worked out.
Correct. Yeah. I think Professor Yan, like you mentioned, does a great job with the program. It is one of the best programs. I'm a little biased, but it is one of the best programs that I think the university offers. It just brings you that experience and that hands-on, learning experience that we all need. And like you mentioned, even though my career is so kind of out there and they don't really connect in maybe a logical way, but there's that community aspect of community engagement that I think not only a lawyer needs, but just your average person needs to know how to interact with people and surround themselves with good, inspiring people as well.
Yeah, well, great. Well, Michelle, we're so looking forward to getting to know you more and to have your help here. And Michelle's going to be out around town. She's going to be helping us identify new businesses coming to town. She will be at chamber events when her time allows, Rotary Club meetings, and just really helping take a lot of the load off of what I'm doing every day to really help teach you the skills to move on to what you want to do later in life. And so we're just so thankful and so excited to be a small stepping stone in your journey as you continue on. What is something? You're only a sophomore, so it's hard sometimes to say, here I am right now, but let's fast forward 3 or 4 years. Where do you want to be? What's the ideal job for you?
The ideal job, or where I see myself in 3 to 4 years, would probably be law school still. So the ideal job would be hopefully one day, the dream job, a DA. Right?
We need to get you in touch with our good friend that's the DA here in town. Good man.
Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Durham.
Yes,
Have you met
Durham.
Will?
I have not, but he has made a couple appearances with the Pre-Law Society that Professor Yan also directs. So
he's in Rotary, so you'll have to see him there sometime whenever he's there periodically.
That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Awesome. All right. Well, there you go. Former or future, and we don't want to say Walker County because we don't want to take Will's job. So a future. What's the county? What's Houston's county?
I live in Harris County.
Harris County.
Yes.
Future Harris County DA right here, Michelle Cardenas. So we'll make sure we're on her good side.
She'd probably be an ADA first, Assistant District Attorney.
Probably.
Then she could move up because you don't automatically get out and go be the DA.
Bridget and I watched Law and Order a lot, like the SVU and all that too. And I didn't know they would always. There was like DA Barba, I think was his name, and when he got kicked off the show, he didn't get kicked off. He was done. He quit the show, and I was like, man, it just wasn't the same after Barba left anymore. There's a guy, his name was Barba, not Barbara, but Barba. You ever watch any of those? I just have to ask, do you watch any of those law stories, shows?
Not Law and Order, but I am a huge Criminal Minds fiend.
Okay.
I used to always say I wanted to be in the FBI, and figured out that wasn't for me once I, was thinking realistically, but I do like cops and all that. I do indulge in that, documentaries on, love it.
Cops was a good show growing up. Bad boys, what you gonna do when they come for you?
Most of a DA's work, a DA's work is not in the trial room, courtroom at all.
Right.
There's a young lady, I'm in HLI with her, class 42, and Mallory, and she works at, I think she's involved with the district attorney's office. So maybe we can connect you to Mallory. Her husband, Alvin, works also in legal, so we'll have to connect you all sometime. That'd be a good connection for you to make. Well, Michelle, again, thankful to have you here. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and maybe we'll have you on again Friday with Billy and I, and we'll have you hop back on and give us some more insight about what's going on in your world, and we'll get to know you a little bit more. So
sounds good. Thank you for having me today.
Awesome. Well, we'll be having you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, at least behind doing something. So, and it's a paid internship. She's not here for free, so I got to make sure I keep her busy. But we have so much going on. You and I had a meeting just a couple days ago, and we went through a list, and I was like, trust me, there's no shortage of things to do. But again, we appreciate you, Michelle. Welcome, and glad to have you here.
Once his ideas get going, I mean, it's just kind of like me, people would go, stop.
Yeah. We write them down on these little, these, and we'll just toss them out to you. So we'll take a break, one final break here before we go, and then we will call our winner today. We have a winner coming up. We'll have that for you. One final break. It's your show as always. This is Good Morning Huntsville, and you do have that final opportunity to text in keyword on the Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line at 936-339-0139. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this. This is your show. It is Good Morning Huntsville.
Here we grow again. Tomorrow's Promise is excited to announce the upcoming addition of our third location to better serve the families of Walker County and surrounding areas. At Tomorrow's Promise, we are more than just childcare. We pride ourselves on partnering with parents and creating a place where every child is respected, loved, and nurtured in the highest quality environment. See what makes us the perfect fit for your child and their needs. Schedule a tour and learn more about Montessori. Contact us today at tpms.life. Third location on Veterans Memorial, coming soon. Education you can trust.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
All right, back at it now. Get on down here now. Used to know a guy that would say that. Get on down here now. Get on down here. Instead of saying like here, they say huh. Do you have any like cool things like that, Kaye, that you do? Like cool grammar?
They make fun of me every time I say roof.
Roof?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, try it again.
Roof.
Roof. Roof. Roof.
Yeah.
I like that. Roof. Roof. I like it.
They think it's hilarious at work and just laugh and start barking.
It's giving me like some hip hop energy whenever you say it again.
Roof.
Roof. Roof. Roof. I just kind of want to walk around town and I go roof. 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 Who would have thought today we'd start barking on the show? You never know what's going to happen on Good Morning Huntsville. Can you say it like that real quick though, okay? Just one time, just be like roof.
Roof.
Okay, see, there you go. Kaye Boehning with us, Tomorrow's Promise Montessori School. Kaye, thanks for being with us, man. I thought the new year you'd be out. You're like, I'm done with this, Rob. But Kaye has decided to just continue to hang out with us. And no,
Why would I not?
I'm just giving you a hard time because it's crazy and we're wild. And, it's, what, I do want to acknowledge something, though, and say a big thank you. All of our foundation sponsors, we wouldn't be here without them. And I know I mentioned Elliot's Jewelers and appreciate his generous support. We wouldn't have been able to get in the studio without his backing. It takes money to do things, and we had to have some things, and we have to pay to be in here. And Paul has provided the space to us, and so we're able to help Paul out. And it's cool how everything kind of comes full circle. But, our Foundation 5 sponsors, without their generous support of being on this show, we would not be able to bring you this show every morning. We wouldn't be able to have people employed here now like Michelle. And so we generously appreciate your support, Kaye, and Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, and all of our sponsors that have been a part of our program. I know that we cut up and we have a good time, but I do always want to encourage folks, when you see these folks like Kaye and Rick on a Wednesday and like our other sponsors that are with us throughout the week, we want to encourage you, please make sure that you do transactions with their business. They're here to help us, and we want to make sure that we're promoting them. And we don't ever want to get caught up in all the fun that we're having, to never fail to mention that. And so maybe this morning you've got a little one. You're trying to figure out where to put them. Give Tomorrow's Promise a call. tpms.life is where you go. And they are especially with, you talk about young children that need a good foundation to start with. There's no better way to start it. And the Montessori program and Tomorrow's Promise will do it. New location on the horizon with the academy. And that is going to be an awesome facility. I think, you guys may be able to get 100, 150 kiddos in that one? I know I said kiddos. I just wanted to say it to see what you said. But
it depends on how it measures out, but there'll be somewhere between 100 and 150.
That's awesome. So it's going to be another tremendous resource.
We need prayers. We got to get to a certain point by February 1st, or we pay back a grant that we have. And so my carpenter yesterday said, "Are you crazy?" And I'm like, Do it.
He said, whenever they said crazy, he goes, what is it? I'm trying to think in Spanish because I always said like loco güero because they would say crazy white boy, loco güero. So it's loca güera, something like that. So yeah, loca güera, so crazy white girl over here.
So
that's my Spanish is terrible. My dad grew up in the Valley. My dad can speak Spanish fluently. I can't, but
anyways. Also important is even if they don't need childcare, if they have a child, get them signed up on the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
That's right. Get them on it, and all you got to do, go to tpms.life. You'll find out more information.
We have 1,004.
1,004. Awesome.
Yeah. Last month we had 57 children rolled off because they'd turned 5. So,
but it goes like this: it goes up and then down a little bit, then up even higher, and then down a little bit. It's this really cool climbing ladder that has been good.
Three this morning that I approved, and 2 were just born, and 1 was born in November.
Awesome.
So
cool.
Very pleased to see that the partnership with the hospital and the babies are getting enrolled.
Yeah, let's make sure that we do that. So if you've got young ones, get them enrolled. Bridget and I do it with Caden and Braylon. We love it very much, and that is the Dolly Parton's Imagination Library. It's made possible because of Tomorrow's Promise, a 501c3 nonprofit that is paying for the shipping cost of these books, and it doesn't cost you anything to get them.
Nothing at all.
0 to 5, and we'll talk about that every week as well. Kate, let's head over to our Granny Mary's Cajun Asian Cuisine text line and see who we have today. And I wanted to cheat the system. You were here. Remember, I wanted to cheat it so bad. I wanted just to say, I can't pick this person today. And then I said, you know what? I'm always transparent about this text line, and I just couldn't cheat it today.
Hello.
And lo and behold, there he is, Brother Kreiner, joining us this morning. Where are you at, Kyle?
I am in Katy.
Katy, that's high class, man. That's just too much for Huntsville.
I was here at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Well,
so how many times have you logged in to register to win?
Just once a day, right, Kyle? Once a day?
Once a day. Sometimes I miss some. I like to sleep in when I'm not working.
So he's doing it once a day.
I'm going to be honest, it's Transparency Day here, and I'm pretty transparent anyways, but your name popped up, and I told Kay, I said, I can't pick this guy.
He keeps winning.
But I said, this guy just keeps winning. And we've had like 40 text messages come in. And but I said, you know what, Kyle? I said, we're never going to cheat the system. And so you are the winner today, my friend.
Sweet.
So $20 coming your way a little bit later on Cash App or Venmo. Do you have one of those Cash App or Venmo? I believe you do, right?
I do.
Perfect.
But you can just drop it in Kay's box.
Well, see, there you go. Well, we'll send it to Tomorrow's Promise. And
thank you, Kyle.
We'll appreciate that, Kyle. Thank you so much.
And another child gets a book for a year.
Yeah, every 20 is a child for a year almost.
25.
So. Kyle, good deal, man. Good deal, man. What else is new in your world, my friend? How's the brisket? Have you been doing any brisketeering lately?
No. So the next date that we're going to do that's going to be the weekend before Easter.
Okay.
So I think that's the next thing we're going to do. But Love Fest is coming up in Love Lady. That'll be the second weekend in February. And that's our Masonic Lodge puts on that barbecue cook-off. So most likely, I don't know if I'll be entering that one.
Yeah.
I'll probably be judging it.
Is this Love Fest? I mean, it's Love Lady, Love Fest. Did y'all come up with the name? I just have to ask.
So we didn't come up with a name. It's actually put on by, I think, 3 separate 501c3s in the Love Lady community. One of them directly benefits the school. There's another community organization. I mean, I think they all, in the end, benefit the school. But our number one fundraiser for our operation costs, which majority goes back to the school children, that's our number one fundraiser this
awesome.
year.
Well, I know
that's where we really sink all of our efforts into.
I know it's a really good event and for a very worthy cause. I just think about maybe if you're a single person, it's like the matchmaking game. You need to go to the Love Fest, and maybe you'll find your true love at the Love Lady Love Fest. Right, Kyle? Are y'all going to introduce?
I think Saturday night Saturday night they have a dance there.
There you go.
That's what they clear out the vendors. It's at the Lovelady Old Gym. I guess it's the old gym from the school back in the day. And so they have a lot of arts and crafts vendors that go in there and inside the gym so they can stay warm. They've got food vendors on one side, and they've got our barbecue cook-off on the other. They've got a parade, and at the end of the night, they clear out all the vendors and open up the dance floor in the gym.
And they play that song, "All the Single Lady, All the Single Lady." I'm just kidding. They don't do that, Kyle.
I'm sure they do.
Well, hey, brother, we appreciate you, man. Have a blessed day. Tell Rachel hello, and you guys keep on doing the good work, my friend. Hey, did y'all get didn't you win a gift card? Did y'all get the gift card yet?
Yeah, I've been blowing and going. I haven't been able to meet up with you in the morning. You can just drop that off to Kaye, too. But, Kaye, I'm watching you. I will come by and pick that up.
Okay, well, I'll give it to Kaye then. You're sure I gave it to you, did I? I thought I...
No, I didn't get it yet. I hadn't seen you. We saw you at that concert, but I think that's the only time I've seen you since.
Did I give it to y'all when I was... I don't think I gave it to y'all then, did I?
No.
Yes, I knew you said you hadn't given it to me.
I was really trying to get you to think about it so I didn't have to give it to you so I could go. So, all right, Kyle.
Oh, trust me, the day you give it to me is the day I'm using it.
All right, brother. Well, hey, have a blessed day. Thanks for joining us, man, and thanks for texting in to win. We appreciate you very much, Kyle.
Thank you, sir.
Kaye has one final question.
What's thankful for today, Kyle?
The sun coming out, warming everything up a little bit, take some of this edge off.
There you go. All right, brother. Well, have a blessed day. Thanks, buddy.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Man, $20 to tomorrow's promise today. Thanks to Kyle Kreiner. How about that? So yeah, not bad at all. So yeah, we are good to go. So awesome. Okay, it's been fun this morning. Thanks for being here, Michelle. We'll have her back on to hop in on Friday, and Michelle will be with us, not on the show all the time, but she will be helping us here at Hello Huntsville, so you'll see more of her presence. And if you see her in the community, just give her a big high five and tell her keep up the good work. So we're going to keep you accountable, Michelle, all right? The whole community now. So, Kaye, thank you so much. Good to see you.
Good seeing you, Rob.
And you know what? Have a great, wonderful week. And Rick, we missed you today. Looking forward to having you back on next week. And we'll just keep on trucking and rocking and rolling right here in good old Huntsville, Texas.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, hey, we love you, Huntsville. We'll be back at it tomorrow. Our friends from the Color Bar join us on Thursday, and then we'll wrap it up on Friday. Make sure you join us every single weekday right here on Good Morning Huntsville throughout our social media platforms. If you haven't downloaded the Spirit Radio app, make sure you do so at spiritradio.fm. For Kaye Boehning and Rick and also Michelle Cardenas, I'm Rob Hipp. Thank you for being with us today. And as I end every single broadcast, reminding you this morning that we're not strong enough alone to make it on our own. We truly need each other. Provide a word of encouragement. Lend a hand of support. Somebody out there needs you. Good morning, Huntsville, and God bless. We'll see you back at it tomorrow at 7:30.